Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Start Being Visible with me, Mildred Talabi. We are live and direct right here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. All right, that's where I am this afternoon on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Where are you watching from? Where are you tuning in from? Let me know in the comments. I am so excited. Excited is actually one of my favorite words. I am constantly excited. So I use that word a lot. If you listen to me a lot, you will hear that I use the word excited a lot. But I am excited to be here. I'm excited to have this second episode. This is the second episode of Start Being Visible. This is my show that is dedicated to you being visible right here on this platform that is LinkedIn. And what do I mean by being visible? I mean getting seen, heard, and remembered by the right people for all the right reasons. That's what being visible on LinkedIn is about. And that's what this show is about, giving you the who, what's, where, why, hows, and all the questions that you have and all the challenges that you face about being visible. We're going to cover on this show, and all the tools that's going to help you, and all the resources and strategies and mindset shifts that's going to help you start being visible on LinkedIn. We are going to cover on this show. So I want you to join me every Tuesday lunchtime my time. I'm in the UK, right? Lunchtime every Tuesday at 1 o'clock for this episode of Start Being Visible. Now, if you are tuning in, I want you to let me know who you are and where in the world you are. So drop a hello even. Whichever type of hello you want to drop, just drop it in the comments. Let me know who you are and where you're tuning in. And then we're going to get on with today's topic. So, Bethan from sunny Cardiff. Hey, Bethan, good to see you. It was sunny in Kent. It keeps being sunny. So, my lighting's going to keep changing because I'm using natural lighting today. So, it's like it's going to be sunny and then it's not. This is England. That's what we get. We get sunny and then not sunny all in the same day. you know, Asha from SCUSA. Hey, Asha. Good to see you, Tribe ladies, representing in the comments. I love it. So happy to see you here, girls, ladies, not girls. But listen, today we are going to be talking about the topic today is business building on LinkedIn by network size. Now, this is an interesting topic because one of the things about being on LinkedIn is you need to be able to manage your expectations. You need to be able to manage your expectations because it's one thing thinking that I'm going to get on LinkedIn today and tomorrow I'm going to have 1,000,001 followers. I'm going to go viral on every post and then my life is just going to change, in all the best ways possible. Yes, that can happen. It absolutely can happen for you. But chances are it's going to take much longer than you think. And there are things that affect your progress on LinkedIn. And one of those things is the size of your network. So we're going to talk about the size of your network today. And we're going to talk about how that impacts the kind of results that you can expect on LinkedIn. So hold tight and stay with me on there. Now, if you are here on LinkedIn, I want to let you know about a tool that I created. It's an absolutely free tool, and it's called, I created the LinkedIn Visibility Scorecard. Now, this lets you know just how visible you are on LinkedIn. If you're wondering, am I doing the right things? Am I working this thing correctly? Then I want you to go to startbeingvisible.com and take my free test there. It's got about 40 questions, so you have to be dedicated. This isn't one of those quick hit ones. You have to really think about it. But the test covers what I call my PACE formula, the 4 pillars of LinkedIn success, which is profile, audience, content, and engagement. Now, it measures just how well you perform in those 4 areas, which are the foundations of being visible on LinkedIn. So if you haven't already taken that test and you want to find out where you are on the scale, what your LinkedIn visibility score is, go to startbeingvisible.com right there on the screen and go and take that free test. And it also gives you the chance to apply for a free 60-minute complimentary coaching call with me if you are successful. Not everybody's gonna be, but go take the test anyway. You get the test and you get the results and you get an analysis of what you can do and what you can improve on LinkedIn on your quest to being more visible. So, okay, I love it. Michael, hey Michael, good to see you here. And April from Atlanta, Georgia, good to see you. Michael's from rainy Madison in the USA. Okay, that feels like you're in Britain because we're used to rain, but good to see you. Michael says, I have been going viral because of my work and hackers don't like it because it exposes them. Okay, I'm not sure what that's about. That's a completely different topic altogether. But okay, thank you for your contribution. Listen, as I said, we're going to talk about business building on LinkedIn by network size today. But before that, I want to get through to some audience questions, because from the last show, I had some people send me messages and with some questions. And if you have questions about what I'm covering today or anything at all to do with your own LinkedIn use or being visible on LinkedIn, drop it in the comments or send me a DM. So I'm going to quickly run through some of the questions that I got, because this might be relevant to you as well, and then we're going to talk about today's topic, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay. So question number one that I had somebody submit after last week's show is, and it's a good question, and it's to do with content. And the question is this: what works better on LinkedIn? I should probably put this on a banner so you can see it. So this was the question: what works better on LinkedIn? Text posts or videos? What's better, text posts or videos? Now you might be wondering this because because sometimes it's like, okay, what should I be doing more of? Should I do text? Should I do videos? Should I have images with my text? All of that kind of stuff. The answer is LinkedIn as a platform works really well for text posts, which you can't say you can't say the same for Instagram, because it's not about text, it's about pictures and more recently videos. But video posts also perform well on LinkedIn. Now I have to credit there's a guy on LinkedIn, a LinkedIn trainer guy called Richard van der Blom. If I've butchered your name, please forgive me. But he's recently released a report called the LinkedIn Algorithm Report, and it goes into all of this kind of stuff in detail, latest stats on what kind of posts work well and what performs better based on research that they've done. So and if this is probably not going to be a surprise to most of you, if you're on LinkedIn at any point at all, that the kind of content that's performing the best right now at the moment on LinkedIn are polls. Now, polls go crazy viral. They get crazy results. So polls are performing really well right now. Text with images perform well, videos perform well, but it's in that hierarchy of polls are the number one performing things. So text posts can perform really well if you accompany it with an image. Video posts can do really well if it's interesting, your content is interesting, and you engage people. For strangers, generally the advice is to kind of keep it under a minute, under 2 minute type of thing, if you're making videos and you're hoping to reach people who are not already familiar with you, because that's about how long they're going to give you if that, so you need to get into it quick and fast. But if you have a more established audience, you can make longer videos and people don't mind because they're tuning in for your content and they know what to expect with your content. So to answer that question, what works better, text posts or videos? The answer is both. Vary your content in relation to what your audience needs, and keep varying it, but also focus on what is your strength most of the time, because that's how you're going to be more consistent. If you're a text person, do more text but add videos into it. If you're a video person, do more videos but add text into it to vary the content. So that's the answer to that question. Okay, April says she loves the polls. I'll be honest. The polls really annoyed me for a while, and I went on I'm not gonna use a poll, and I really did not use a poll for a long time because I didn't like it. Not that I didn't like the polls. I didn't like that everybody and their mum were doing polls on LinkedIn, so, and I'm not one to jump on bandwagons. But I actually did a poll recently about what makes what makes a thought leader, which did really well in terms of engagement, because I genuinely wanted to hear people's opinions on it. And I'm actually quite surprised by the results. Go check it out on my profile. But yeah, use polls, but use it sparingly. I've seen polls where people are polling things like, should I dye my hair green or black? I mean, come on, come on, come on, really? Okay, let's get off polls. Right, second question that I had come in that I quickly deal with before we get into this today's content about business building and numbers. It was this: how do you make a good video for LinkedIn? Oh no, I've put it in the comments. I wasn't supposed to put it in the comments. Let's do it. Let's put it here. How do you make a good video for LinkedIn? So if we've said that video is a good medium for LinkedIn, how do you make a good video? This is not one to talk about in a few seconds because there's a lot of ingredients that go to towards it. And actually This is a free plug for my husband, Malachi Talabi. Find him on LinkedIn, Malachi Talabi, storytelling coach. But yeah, he's a public speaking guru, like everything to do with speaking better on camera, off camera, all of that. That's his fish. That's his kettle of fish. I just get on here and I talk. He studied this stuff and he's really good. I won loads of competitions around that. So go check out his content, Malachi Talabi. He shares public speaking tips on LinkedIn. But if I'm just going to give you a quick tip on how to make good videos on LinkedIn, if you're starting out, please don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, and don't feel like you have to have all these fancy equipment. You have to have all these headlines and flashing, and captions are good because there are people who cannot read. Like for it helps with the hearing impaired. It helps people who are hearing impaired, so captions are good. And it also helps that a lot of people look at LinkedIn at work, and they may not be able to turn the sound on. So if you have captions, that's really good because it helps your audience consume your content without turning it on. So captions are good, but don't go crazy about trying to make it all fancy and all this editing that stuff, especially when you're starting out. Me, I'm a quick and easy, simple type of person. I film with my phone. I have an excellent app on my phone that I highly recommend. It's called Vemily. Vemely. Vemily. Really great app. You can have a free one and you can pay. You have a paid subscription one. The paid one is good. It removes all the watermarks and stuff. Quite inexpensive. But you use this app and it will pre-populate like the headline and all of this stuff, and it generates captions for you, subtitles, which is brilliant. And it's about 90, I would say it's about 90+% accurate. You just have to go in and tweak a little bit. And the whole process from beginning to end is super easy, super simple, just how I like it. So if you want to make a good video for LinkedIn, think about your content is important. Hit your audience, because in the first 3 seconds or so, they're going to decide whether they want to carry on watching or not. So just get straight into the point. But if you want to delve into this further, go check out Malachi's work, Malachi Talabi on LinkedIn. Okay, final question, and then I will drop you. We'll talk about today's topic, and then you can let me know any of your questions, right, that you might have for today. So I had a question come in where somebody asked me, how do you do, let me put it up here on screen for you. How do you do your first LinkedIn Live? Hey, well, how do you do your first LinkedIn Live? First of all, you have got to apply for LinkedIn Live. If you don't have the license, there's a link. You tap in LinkedIn Live application on Google for LinkedIn, and it will bring you up to the page. But you have to apply for it. You apply for it, and then you need a platform like this. I use StreamYard. I think is brilliant. There are other ones out there, but I've always used this since I've got LinkedIn Live for over a year now. And I love StreamYard, and it works really well. So you apply for LinkedIn Live. Once you get approved, you get yourself on a platform like StreamYard or Restream, or I can't remember some of the other ones. And then you set it up. So when you program it, I can only talk about StreamYard because that's the one I use, but I can program all my stuff at this end, and then it streams it automatically to LinkedIn, as we're doing right now, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So that's the technical aspect of how to do your first LinkedIn Live. The content aspect of doing your first LinkedIn Live is you need to think about whether you're going to be doing how does the LinkedIn Live tool fit in with your goals to be visible on LinkedIn? How does it fit in with your business goals and your visibility goals? How does that fit in? So that's what you need to think about. Think about, am I going to do LinkedIn Lives as a one-off, or am I going to do it as part of a series? Where like now I do these on a weekly basis, but before I used to kind of started off doing them one-offs, and then I did my Visible Woman on LinkedIn show in seasons, and now I do this on a weekly basis. So you can be strategic from the beginning, but when you're really, really, really starting out, just jump in and test it out. It is not going to be perfect your first, second, third, fourth, maybe even fifth time. But as you do it, you will grow and you will improve from there. So go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so those are the questions from last week, and thank you to everybody who submitted those questions. If you have questions for me that you would like me to answer on next week's show, so just comment below with your questions, or send me a DM. Send me a DM on LinkedIn. Send me a message, and I will answer it live on the next edition of Start Being Visible, which is right here every Tuesday, 1 o'clock lunchtime, BST UK time. Okay, so let's talk about today's topic. Let's talk about today's topic. If you're still with me and those questions were helpful, drop it, say it, say something in the comments. Let me know. Yes, that was helpful. Let me know if that was any of those questions have ever crossed your mind. Let me know if you now clear on whether you should be doing text or video and how to do LinkedIn lives. Let me know something in the comments. All right, so drop a message in the comment. Okay, so we are going to be talking about business building on LinkedIn today by network size. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, network size is not the only metric that matters on LinkedIn. I mean, you don't have to have a massive network to have to make an impact. You really do not. It all depends on your goals. But you do need to have a sizable network, as in a network. It has to have some numbers in it. Numbers do matter to an extent. So because your network size affects your reach. You know, if you only have a small number of people in your network, your reach in terms of how many people you actually reach with your content is absolutely limited. You know, it's limited. Now, the people that you reach on LinkedIn is this is what a lot of people don't realize. You can have like 1,000 people in your network, but actually the LinkedIn algorithm only serves your content to about 8 to 12% of your network at any given time. So this is why the reach is important, that the bigger your network, the wider your reach, the further your reach. So that's why we're talking about this today. But today I want to talk to you about the kind of expectations you can have based on your current network size. And then also it will allow you to set goals for, okay, these are the goals that I'm gonna set for myself to get to this next level in my content. You know, so April says that was very helpful. That's good. Thank you, April. And Bethan, yes, very useful. Okay, awesome. So going back to this business builder network, let's start with the lowest number. And I want you to drop in the comments, actually, even if you're watching on replay later on, drop in the comments, what is the current size of your network? Just give me a rough estimate. How many people are in your networks right now? Now, my network at last count is at about 23,000 followers or something like that. And before, when I really got serious on LinkedIn, I had just under 6,000, and that took me like 10 years to get about under 6,000 on LinkedIn. But in the last 18 months, it's shot through the roof, you know, because I apply the things that I teach about being visible on LinkedIn, and that's helped to grow my audience and therefore my reach. So, and it's now about 23,000 plus people that follow me on LinkedIn, for which I'm grateful to every single one of you. Amazing, right? You know, but let me know in the comments, what's your current network size? How many people do you have in your following? You don't have to look at connections. Followers is fine, especially since LinkedIn has changed this to creator mode. It's follow is now the default option on your profile. You know, so let me know, tap it in the comments how many people you have. But let's start with the lowest criteria. You know, so depending on the numbers that you have in your network, here's where I think you should keep your focus on, you know, if you're looking to use LinkedIn to build your business. So let's say you're starting out and you're brand new. So that means you have a small network of under 500. Now, if that's you, your focus should be on building your audience. That's your focus. Because what tends to, I had some clients I worked with previously, and it's like they were producing, before they came to me, they're producing good content, and then they were trying to produce content, they were on their way to producing good content, let's just put it that way. But there was this frustration of I'm putting my stuff out there and nobody's responding, nobody's engaging. I'm like, okay, hold up, before we get too far down this road of whether it's what's happening, you know, of whether it's your content that needs fixing, let's look at your network size. And more times than not, they had a very small network, and I didn't understand this fact that your reach on LinkedIn is determined by the size of your network. So if you have less than 500 people in your network, your focus should be to build your audience. Get that number up to the magic number of 1,000. 1,000 is a magic number simply because it's 1,000, you know, but really, once you hit 1,000, then it's like you're really starting to use LinkedIn in a way that's going to benefit your business goals. And today we are talking specifically business. I know other people have other goals for being on LinkedIn. It could be just to get your career promotion or something like that, but we're talking about business goals specifically. Okay, so Phoebe, hey Phoebe has 700 people in her network. April says I currently have about 1,100, working on increasing. Awesome. Nicole is rocking it with 7,200. Awesome, Nicole. That is great. So yeah, if you, wherever you are on that scale of things, if you, let's say if you are under 500, I want you to make that your focus to build your audience. Now, when I say this, I don't mean just go and add any and everybody in your network, because what's going to end up happening is that you might have a large network, and I've seen this happen where people have loads of followers or usually connections, that they've added loads of connections, but on their posts it's like ghost town, because you just added random people and they're not interested in you or your content, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is be strategic in your approach to growing your network, growing your audience. And in my book, Start Being Visible, my LinkedIn book, we can get it on my website, startbeingvisible.com, where you can also do that free test. I talk about the 60-20-20 principle of building your network. So that means that 60% of your efforts you should focus on filling it with people from your target audience, whoever you're targeting with your business. 20% your peers and your other influences in your space. That should be about 20% of your network. And then the final 20% should be any and everybody, like your auntie, your uncle, who just discovered LinkedIn and found you and they want to be your connection. You can let them in, because you sometimes who really helps the process. They can know somebody that you need to know. So you can let them in, but don't let that be the main number in your network. 60-20-20. Okay, awesome. So that's it. So if you have under 500, build your audience. Now, I think, was it April you said you got 700? So that's kind of in between. The next tier that from there is when you have 1 to 5,000 people. So if you're kind of caught in this place where you haven't reached 1,000, but you're more than 500, keep going till you get to that 1,000, right? Because when you get to that 1 to 5,000 mark, your focus really should be on building relationships. So LinkedIn as a platform is very much relationship based. It's relationship based. The people who want to use it as a place where you can just promote, spam, inbox people offering services left, right, and center that nobody asks for. You can get somewhere with that, but you won't get very far in the long run. It won't be long before you burn all the bridges and you've run out of content of people to spam, because everybody's blocked you, right? And LinkedIn has blocked you too. But if you really want to succeed on this platform, it's really important that you start building relationships, that you take the time to build relationships with people here. Now, how you do that is by engaging with other people's content, engaging on their posts, engaging in direct messages. You watching this right here live, you're engaging with me and we're building relationships, because some of you, I don't know you previously, but now I know your name. And when I see you around on LinkedIn Town, it's like now you're a familiar face, especially as you comment on here. So build relationships, because relationships are key. People buy from people. People buy from people, and people buy from people that they know, like, and trust, especially if you're in a service-based business. If you're in a service-based business and you're something like a coach or a consultant or something like that, is like people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So for them to know, like, and trust you, you have to build relationships with them. So literally engage with people in your posts, engage with people on their posts and on pages and direct messages, all of that. That should be your focus when you're in this 1 to 5,000 connection network size mark. So, and then the last category, and I think there's 1 or 2 people who are in this category where you've got more than 5,000 connections, then you can really start to build a business on LinkedIn. So that's when you can, with that kind of reach, you can start doing things like you can grow your business, you can start a newsletter, or if you're that way inclined, that get people to really sign up to your newsletter and plug into your business off the platform as well. You can do things like offer services, and actually get responses from your content, so you can create content that's intended to serve your audience. You can create content whereby you can offer some of the things that you do and people will be interested, because now you have a wider audience. Now you've got more people engaged. Now you've got the foundations that can really help you to build a business on LinkedIn, where in the long run, if you continue with building relationships and you continue with showing up, you can build a tangible business on LinkedIn, because now your network size is growing. Because if you've been doing this organic growth that we spoke about, and you've gone from under 500 to now you're like at 5,000 plus, along the way you would have made some solid connections and some built some solid relationships that's really going to help you build your business. So at this point you can focus on building your business, and if you have expectations around then that's not unrealistic. It gets unrealistic when people have under 500 connections, under 500 people in your network size, and you're wondering, why can't I make LinkedIn work for me? Why is nobody interested in my services? It's not that people are not interested in your services. It's not what they could be. I'm joking. But it's really usually is because your reach is too small. So build up your network. So focus on building your audience when you've got less than 500. When you've got 1 to 5,000, focus on building those relationships, because those relationships are going to help you for the next stage and the final stage of where you've got 5,000 plus people, where you need to focus on building a business, if that is your goal for being on LinkedIn. So was that helpful to you? Did you learn anything new? What is your key takeaway? I want you to let me know in the comments. I want you to let me know. And do you have any questions? Because if the questions are related to today's one, drop it below and I'll answer it in the last couple of minutes that we have. If it's related to something else, drop it anyway and I can answer it on the next edition, because I'm here with you every Tuesday, right? And I want you to be here with me too every Tuesday, and go tell somebody that needs to be here with us, okay? But drop your questions in the comment below with any questions you have, or send me a message. But was this helpful to you? Have you learned anything new? Do you have any questions around this? And what is the number one action that you're going to do as a result from today? What is the action? What is your focus? I want you to let me know. Type it in the comments. So based on those 3 criteria that we talked about, under 500, 1 to 5,000, 5,000 plus, what is going to be your focus? Is your focus going to be on building your audience? Is it going to be on building relationships? Or is it going to be on building your business? Let me know in the comments. Let me know before we sign up. Okay, that's awesome. April says very good practical advice. Thank you, April. April, what is your focus going to be? Are you audience building, relationship building, or business building? Drop the one word in the comments. Everybody drop your one word in a comment what you're going to do. Consider this accountability, right? So that next week when we check in, I want you to let me know how that process has been going for you, okay? I have a LinkedIn user who says, hi, Mildred. Hey, good to see you, but I cannot see your name, so I'm not sure who you are, but thank you. Good to see you. I'm going to sign off, but as I said, if you want to know how visible you are on LinkedIn, you can see it at the bottom. I'm going to get rid of that one. Give me a second. Okay, so you can go to startbeinvisible.com. I designed this test it's a free test, absolutely free test, which covers my PACE formula. PACE formula. I gotta give my husband credit for that one. It's like, that is PACE. Your 4 pillars of LinkedIn success is PACE. PACE. Yeah, great. Okay. My PACE formula, which is profile, audience, content, and engagement. These are the 4 pillars of LinkedIn success. If you plug into those 4 pillars, you'll be able to build your business on LinkedIn, build your visibility on LinkedIn. But you can discover how well you're doing with that by taking my free test, so you can find your LinkedIn visibility score. Go to startbeinvisible.com. Go to startbeinvisible.com and get that going. Okay, so hey, Christiana. Christiana's appearing as LinkedIn user. Yes, Christiana's gonna focus on relationship building. That is awesome. Okay, Ayo is on the line. Hey, Ayo. Ayo says, I've got 2,700 and I still get engagement and do business on LinkedIn. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And yes, it can happen. It can happen. So in terms of focus, because once you hit that magic number of 1,000, then you're really in the place where you can start doing business. But I talk to a lot of women, and I'm here to manage expectations. I'm here to manage expectations. And the good thing about building relationships in that 1 to 5,000 stage is that those relationships do translate to business. So, but just to manage your expectations, focus on building your audience. If you've got less than 500, focus on building relationships. If you've got 1 to 500, and then focus on building your business once you get to that nice 5,000 mark. Okay, April says, my focus will be more strategic in the connections that I create. Also, I will be considering doing some videos along with text posts. Also, when you do your video, your first video, tag me because I love first videos. They are awesome. I don't normally like people tagging me, but I'm giving you full permission to tag me when you do that first video because I want to celebrate with you, April. That is awesome. Okay, ladies and gents, I'm going to love you and leave you until next week. Okay, so come back here with me next Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we're working on this. So we're live every Tuesday, 1 p.m. BST, talking about all aspects of visibility. Remember, drop me a DM if you've got questions, drop it in the comments, and then I will answer it in the next show. But until then, thank you so much for joining in. And I look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday for another episode of Start Being Visible with me, Mildred Talabi. All right, I'm out of here. See you later.